We're back at Alley Springs just a couple hours before sunset, and you can see the mill over here in the background. We got this gorgeous reflection in the actual spring of the mill. So I'm actually set up right over here, and we're gonna take this shot. This is gonna be kind of cool. So I am gonna switch over here, and hopefully gonna have to start over again because I got a dead battery. So hopefully there is a battery right here where it should be that is fully charged, because I would not like to be me if this is not the fully charged battery, if you know what I mean. We're back at Alley Springs just a couple hours before sunset, and you can see the mill over here in the background. We got this gorgeous reflection in the actual spring of the mill. So I'm actually set up right over here, and we're gonna take this shot. This is gonna be kind of cool. Saying I'm way overexposed, but I don't think I am. Let's see what this does here. F9 and a 60th of a second. And it's a 2-second timer, so it's gonna take a little bit. So yeah, I'm gonna walk you through the composition here in just a second. I'm gonna go to my 3 camera shot setup, which takes me a little bit of time because, well, it's complicated. Let's just say that. Let's go to video. So here's the back of the camera. And if we go in here, I've got a tree running up the left side and a tree running up the right side. Kind of a V there with the mill right in between the two, and that reflection off the mill is just gorgeous. It's popping like crazy. So I'm actually gonna fire off a couple more shots now that nobody's in it. Well, there's 2 people in it, but it looks like they're moving. So I'm gonna fire off a couple more shots and get that in the bag, and then we'll move to the next composition. So the one thing I just noticed with this composition is the high clouds we've got moving in are just blowing out no matter what shutter speed I go to. So the sky is not going to be what I want it, and I do not do sky replacements unless I can get a sky here today that looks good, and I don't know. We'll see how it turns out, but I like the composition, I like the subject, I like the foreground. This could be another one of those things that I'm going to have to come back to a couple times. Luckily, you know, because we're photographing Missouri, it's home state. This is 5 to 6 hours away, so it's a weekend trip down here. I'm not going to drive 12 hours to shoot a shot. Just not the way I work. But like I said, I'm loving it. I like the composition. I don't think I've seen this one out there yet, so that's one of the reasons why I chose it. I snapped 9 possible compositions when we were here earlier on the GPS tracking app that I'm using on my phone to record where compositions are that I find when I go scouting. So I'm gonna move to the next thing before we lose too much light. But I got this one. Just didn't get the sky I liked, but you know what? We'll see how it turns out. Okay, so we got the second composition, and it's actually the second choice for this little waterfall, this little rapid here on the creek coming out of Alley Spring. And I think we're gonna go landscape for this one. Part of the reason is I don't want to get too much higher than the bluff behind in the composition. So let me get this set up here. And we're still shooting at f11. Base exposure is going to be about 40th of a second. See what this one looks like. And oh, I like it. So I'm not using any filters or anything on this one. With the light the way it is coming in at a good steep angle into this creek river system, it's really kind of like a ravine. And the Ozarks are a mountain range. They're the oldest mountain range in the United States. And when you think of Missouri, you do not think of this. You really don't. So I'm liking that one. We've got some good motion blur already in it. I can see that. There's a little bit of post-processing that might need to be done. Highlights aren't blown out on the base exposure. The darks look like they're still alive, so there's detail in that shadow area because the soul of the photograph is the shadow. I'm actually loving this. We got some really cool, gorgeous side light coming in too. Let me switch this over to video real quick. I'm gonna see how this looks. So this is the composition right here. This is what we're doing. We got this nice tree coming in right here at this angle through here. We got the rapids out there. That's what we're focused on, is the rapids. So at f11 we should have good depth of field throughout the whole image. And then I just noticed this. We're getting side light on that tree there. The angled tree that is the right side of the frame. So we're getting some cool side light there. We're also getting some side light way back on this tree right here. So you know what? I'm going to switch back over to still photography mode on this camera and snap a couple more off because I'm just loving that light. So we're shooting with a 2-second timer again, like I said, because I left the wireless trigger in my other pair of hiking pants. Yeah, well, shame on me. Let's see what we got here. Oh, even better. I'm loving that light. I'm loving the blur. I can't wait to see this bigger, much bigger. So that might be my favorite shot tonight. The other one was pretty good, don't get me wrong, but this one's my fave. So for those of you that don't have a spouse or significant other that shoots photos as well, here's a little public service announcement for you. Once they jump on the bandwagon, try not to shot block them, because Shelly's right over here with me shooting. She's gonna shoot this shot right here. Okay, literally my shot that I want, I think she's shooting right now, in fact. So I'm not gonna shot block her. No shot blocking. Can I step in there for just a second? Okay, so I was literally talking about shot blocking, and Ozzy decided to go off script and follow Shelly instead of me. So Shelly's behind me taking this shot. The shot I want is a 14 mil wide portrait orientation with the lens pointed down into the pool out here. Okay, so let's get you out here. That pool right there. For me to get that shot, I literally have to be right here. So I'm not gonna do that, because that's gonna block her shot, literally, because she's shooting right over here. Don't shot block your partner. So I just talked to you about not shot blocking your spouse, right? Or your significant other. Very important key to a successful relationship with another photographer living in your house, especially when it's your wife, because you want a happy wife, because you want a happy life, right? So Shelly got her shot, moved out of the way. I'm now set up on it. My shot, I have the Nikon 14 to 24 f2.8 on, and I know it's sacrilege. I'm not shooting at f2.8. No. I am not shooting at f2.8, I'm shooting at f11, and it will be sharp. And what I've done is I've pointed the lens down a little bit to kind of negate the distortion of the mill in the background. But I've got these two trees on either side here as my frame, and then I've got a foreground of these twisted it's a maple? I think it's a maple roots in the foreground. So we got the 2-second timer on. We're gonna take this at f11, and then I'll drop it down to f2.8 just to see, because I'm here, and you know, like I said earlier, it's a about a 6-hour drive down here, so that'd be a 12-hour day just in driving, and I'm not gonna do that, because that is ludicrous. I'm liking it at f11, but let's say I drop it down to 2.8. What is this gonna do? What's it gonna do? It's gonna raise my shutter speed because I'm shooting on aperture priority. The base exposure is gonna be 1/250th of a second. 250th of a second, yeah, seriously. So that's your base exposure. You're not gonna get as much of that smoothing effect on the water, of course. Gonna get a little bit. It wasn't major. I can see that on the back of the lens. I am sticking with my assessment. I like the f11 because that kept me from having to slap on an ND filter with fading light. And you know what? Right now it's all about getting the shot done in the amount of time that I have at location. And I might have time to get back around to the other side, because I'm really hoping that's going to light up behind us here. That would be awesome. So Shelly's still shooting. on the other side of the mill. I looked up, it's getting really close to sunset. We got some really cool high clouds drifting over the background of the mill. And I think they're gonna light up. They're gonna give us that gorgeous, gorgeous sky tonight. Which, if that's the case, I'm getting a cool shot. Hope to God this works. This would be awesome. It's gonna be the same composition that we saw earlier, where I put the mill in the middle of the V of two trees. There's just a little bit of reflection left, so I've got to get going here. So I'm gonna set you down and get my shot taken. I'll probably talk to you about it over some gorgeous slow-mo B-roll we shot earlier today. Thank you for watching. If you haven't yet done so, hit that subscribe button and ding the bell for future notifications. And feel free to leave me a comment. We really appreciate that here on the channel. And if you got a place somewhere in Missouri that you'd like to see photographed and shown on this channel, give us a shout out down below in the comments. We'll see you next time. Thanks again for watching.
As it was, by the time the sun was in the right position, the clouds had drifted away. I didn't quite get that sunset that I wanted, but I came away with a really nice photograph that I really enjoyed making. Let me know if you like this version or the first version, the first photo in this video. They're about the same composition. Let me know which one you like better down below in the comments. And once again, thank you for watching. Safe travels, and we'll see you down the road or the trail somewhere in the great state of Missouri.